It reveals that, according to people familiar with the matter, documents found by the FBI in their search of Mar-a-Lago last month include one that describes a foreign government's military defenses, including its nuclear capabilities. NBC News has not independently confirmed this report, and we don't know if this particular document was classified. The DOJ has declined to comment, and Trump has previously denied that any nuclear documents at all were stored at Mar-a-Lago. Carol Leonnig, one of the reporters who bylined the story, spoke to MSNBC on Tuesday.
We don't know how much. We don't know which foreign government is involved. We have some theories, but we published what we can establish with great certainty, and that is that among the records seized, there were details so classified, so concerning, that it was covered by this classification, material that relates to a foreign government's nuclear capacity.
Some of the documents detail top secret U.S. operations so closely guarded that only the president, some cabinet members, or a near cabinet level official could authorize other government officials to know about this information, according to the Washington Post. And that's citing people familiar with the FBI search. And as we know now from the totality of the Post reporting since the search, thousands of government documents were stored at Mar-a-Lago. It's a public menu, I want to remind you, with very uncertain security. And it was there for more than 18 months after Donald Trump left the White House. So just to recap this entire saga for those who haven't been paying attention to every single development, Donald Trump is alleged to have had the nuclear secrets of a foreign government at his beach club, a club with hundreds of members who can come in and out and go as they please. It's a place that hosts weddings and parties with club members who may just be there to play 9 holes of golf. The fact that these ultra-secret documents were there, that in and of itself actually hurts our national security, as MSNBC legal analyst Joyce Vance points out. Quote, Trump's damage to our national security includes relationship damage with friendly countries we work with and rely on to gather intelligence. They believe it's no longer safe to work with us. We are in a much less secure position. And that is the kind of security risk Donald Trump poses. And that's exactly what Congressman and House Intel Chair Adam Schiff tried to warn us about way back in the beginning of 2020. Listen to some of his closing remarks at Donald Trump's first, not to be confused with the second, but first impeachment trial way back, as I said, in 2020.
We must say enough. Enough. He has betrayed our national security, and he will do so again. He has compromised our elections, and he will do so again. You will not change him. You cannot constrain him. He is who he is. Truth matters little to him. What's right matters even less, and decency matters not at all.
I literally woke up this morning thinking about that video of Adam Schiff saying he has betrayed our national security, and he will do it again. Here to break it all down is David Rohde, executive editor of The New Yorker. And David, what is your reaction to the Washington Post reporting about a foreign government's nuclear capabilities and secrets being among some of the documents found at Mar-a-Lago? For me, that Adam Schiff speech, I woke up thinking about it.
You're right. Like, it's stunning. I mean, these are the most closely guarded secrets of all foreign governments. They don't want the United States to know about their nuclear capabilities. And the reason so few people in the U.S. government, are allowed to know these kind of information is because it's, possible that it was a human source, someone who's risking their lives and providing information in the United States that provided these secrets. It's also, there's some form of surveillance we have, or hacking into communication system in a foreign country that we don't want them to know about. So it's shocking. It's preposterous that Donald Trump kept these documents for 18 months, as you've talked about, in a club where people can come in. And it's just, amazing to me that this has gone on for so long. And it's even more amazing that he paints himself as a victim He failed to return thousands of documents that belong to the U.S. government, and that's what forced the Justice Department to act in this case, period. He created this situation.
One of the things I've been thinking a lot about overnight, David, is the question of why. And that's actually a question I had at the very beginning, like why would he take confidential or classified documents to his beach club? What was the reason? Why did he feel like he needed them? And originally they sort of painted a picture of sort of a really messy situation and the haste of packing up boxes, when you're in a rush and you don't have time to really organize everything before leaving a location. But the nuclear documents actually don't fall into that category. Can you help the audience understand the type of information we're talking about here? We're talking about basically information that can only be viewed by certain people on a small list in a special room after they take it out of the safe that's in that room.
Yeah, this is so secret that some of the investigators, some of the DOJ and FBI people had to, get a special additional clearance to be able to look at it. But, your question about why. The initial theory was that he was just sloppy and all these things are sort of laying around the Oval Office. One thing I don't believe is that he was this sort of consummate consumer of intelligence information. He was known to not really read briefing books and documents that were given to him. And there's a fear I have, and I suspect investigators have it, that he kept these documents maybe to show them off to people. There's no evidence of that. No investigator has, I don't have any confirmation of that. It's just literally a theory, my theory. But that would be the worst case scenario. And that's something that I think they will investigate very carefully, because it would be disastrous if he was somehow showing off these documents. In the end, the most likely scenario can just be his ego. There's been quotes that he was saying, these are my documents, and I'm going to take them, to Mar-a-Lago. So that's, it's sad to say, but if it's just his ego, his belief that he keeps all these documents from his presidency, that would be the best case scenario in a very dangerous and damaging situation.
What do you think about the theory that it could be viewed by him as some sort of leverage for whether he's prosecuted down the road or, gets into a sticky situation? And I'm just saying that given the fact that I just had two really long, comprehensive conversations on my radio show and also on his podcast with Michael Cohen, and I feel like I understand sort of Donald Trump a little bit better after those conversations, and also I recommend his books as well. But one of the things I think about now is, to the question of the why, but maybe he doesn't know what he's going to use it for yet, and he didn't use it yet. But do you see it as potential leverage in the future if he were to ever get into a sticky situation or, want to run for president and they're like, we're about to charge you, and he's like, I think you're not, because I do have some documents. The scenarios I am going through in my head, they don't even have to be on the sort of, he's selling it to our enemies end of the spectrum. It can be something way, way more benign than that.
Yeah, I think it's possible that he saw them as leverage. Trump, he's very good at, bringing a gun to a knife fight, so to speak, and a really kind of brutal legal strategies and really brass knuckles approaches to politics. So it's a possibility he did that. I don't know, how he thought that would play out, though. It's very clear that eventually the government would realize these documents were missing. They'd want them back. So whatever his goal, this is blown up in his face, and it's a mistake. I don't know what he was thinking. And then just lastly, another thing is just his, stability, his understanding of reality. It's very surprising. Again, this is just a completely unforced error on his part. There's just no need for, he could have just returned all the documents to the National Archives when the archives requested him, and he didn't do that. And now he's facing, possible criminal prosecution. Again, this is entirely Donald Trump's fault.
David Rohde, it's always great to talk to you in these unprecedented times to try to figure out what sense to make of it all. Thank you so much for starting us off today, and please stay safe. Hi, I'm Zerlina Maxwell. Thanks for checking out our channel on YouTube. You can see more from Zerlina by clicking any of the videos on this screen, and make sure you subscribe below to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. Thanks for watching.